Hello and welcome to the Pork and Knuckles Show, where we take a bite out of the movies, literally. So this month we are doing Toy Story. Toy Story is
I thought we're doing
epic.
Taken.
It is epic, absolutely epic. Brilliant. We're gonna go straight into the fact battle. Porky, you go first.
Yes, I go first with a technical fact, which is one that I also always love. The first movie required 800,000 computer hours and 114,240 animation frames in total. In the second movie, in this airport baggage area, each and every single frame, you know, the thing where there are 24 in each second, took 70 hours to render.
Well, I'm gonna follow up on that actually. Interesting fact, because Toy Story 1 was the first ever fully computer generated animated movie. First ever.
And it was made with only 110 people, which in comparison, The Lion King, which was released 1 year prior, was made with 800 employees. So more than 7 times the amount of people who worked on Toy Story worked on The Lion King.
Wow. And then, second fact, the carpet in the movie, the patterned carpet in the first movie, you must recognize this. It's from The Shining and Overlook Hotel as well. So this is, I think they had a background and they just used the background again and again. But yeah, this is the carpet.
Yes. My third fact, do you know that the carpet in Sid's house is actually the same hexagonal pattern as the Overlook Hotel in the freaking Shining? You stole my fact again!
Right, so Buzz Lightyear's original name was Tempest because the animators had a massive obsession with the Atari game Tempest, but they obviously didn't like it. Buzz Lightyear sounds so much cooler, and then how can you say to infinity and beyond? Tempest. It didn't make sense. So they stuck to Buzz Lightyear.
Okay, I have a fact about the worst character that I've ever seen in an animated movie. He's called Forky, and he's from Toy Story 4. Yes, originally, he was supposed to be called Forkface, like director Josh Cooley's younger son suggested, but Cooley was rejecting it because he knew Pixar would deem it too obscene for kids. Sporky was also considered, because kids don't know what a spork is, and seriously, why the hell would you need such a thing? It was rejected, but seriously, this character could have literally been called Forkface, which would fit this terrible character wonderfully.
Well, Toy Story was the first time 2 household names. You got mind blank.
Tim
Allen and Tom Hanks worked together in the same room. I mean, at one point they were recording separately, but the chemistry grew so much that they started recording in the same room and just reading off the scripts. It was amazing. That was the first time they both worked in the same place together.
I think it was even just a coincidence that they did this for like 1 or 2 days on the first one, but when the second movie came out, they demanded that they get to record their lines together because of the chemistry. My personal number one, I think, most interesting fact that I have ever said in any of these videos. So, when Jessie first meets Woody, she exclaims, "Sweet mother of Abraham Lincoln." But do you know that Abraham Lincoln's mother was named Nancy Hanks and is literally a blood relative of Tom Hanks? So Tom Hanks is a direct descendant of an uncle of Nancy Hanks.
My last one is better. Right. So Pixar included all the names of the babies that were born during the works, and they did this for a lot more films after this. But yeah, in the credits, there's baby names. Cool. That is cool. That is so cool. That is cool. All right. Well, you will let us know which one is the
after
coolest
this
one.
brilliant fact.
You have survived. You have survived.
Tell us who won, tell us who had the best facts, but please don't forget, if you have other facts about the Toy Story franchise, please drop them in the comment section below. If you liked this video, please tell us. If you didn't, please keep it to yourself. But no, most importantly is that you subscribe to the channel, hit that bell to make sure you're notified whenever we put up more crap like this. So see you guys again on the next episode of the Pork and Knuckle Show.
Take care. Hello and welcome to the Pork and Knuckle Show, where we take a bite out of the movies, literally. So this month, Toy Story, and what better way than to make a fruit salad. So this cucumber, pineapple, avocado, minty fruit salad, you will love it. Kids will love it. Make it while you're watching the movie. Give it to them. Alright, start chopping up.
Yes! What do you want me to do exactly?
So, dice the cucumber into basically little fingers. Dice the onion. Slice up the avocado. Slice up half of the pineapple and half a roasted pepper. Now, for the dressing, it's very, very simple. 20 grams of white vinegar, salt to taste, 40 grams of olive oil. You've got 2 tablespoons of honey. This is a key ingredient. Have half a spoon of chili flakes and 2 teaspoons of lime. I'll just squeeze them in and whisk, whisk, whisk until everything is mixed.
You meant whip, stir, whip, whip, stir, stir, whip, stir.
Pour in the sauce.
Yes, after tossing a bit.
That's it. Whack it and now toss it.
Yes.
Alright. We've chopped the vegetables and the fruits. Put the dressing in there. And now we're going to try it. It's simple.
Here's yours. I will just show to the camera what we have here. And I think this looks delicious.
This is very good. Colorful. Kids will enjoy it.
This is a great mix.
Thank you for watching, guys. See you next week for another video. Like, subscribe, leave a comment below, and definitely try this. Take care.
Really do.
Take care. Take care.
Hello and welcome to the Pork and Knuckle Show, where we take a bite out of the movies, literally. And today, we're not even gonna take a bite out of something, we're basically cramming our hand into the buttocks of some inanimate objects in a movie called The Christmas Toy, made in 1986 by one Frank Oz. And so, for this video, I have to say, we got to try the impossible. Dare the incredible, which is actually a great song, better than anything else that Randy Newman has come up with for Toy Story. Now it's your turn.
It was inspiration for Toy Story. Kermit the Frog. Who doesn't love Kermit the Frog? I got it. It was a movie, but the music was quite annoying. It sounded like a circus, just going round and round, one of those jukeboxes. And you just think, right, get to the story, get to the story. So they're worried about being frozen. Emotional and touchy scene where Tigger is like Tiger is just like, oh, please come back to life, blah blah blah, and then the mouse comes back to life. Great, end of story. So all hell breaks loose on Christmas Eve. This is the theme, and all toys suddenly go absolutely mental and start having these worries, and there we go. That is the Christmas toy.
Yeah, the problem is if you take apart the story of the Christmas toy, it's basically about one toy that starts to get annoyed by the fear of being replaced with a different toy.
That's
if that rings anything like Toy Story, really?
It really was.
Well, it's basically the same concept as Pets.
It's the same thing. If
Animal
they just
being
didn't do it on
afraid of
Christmas
being
Eve, then that's it.
replaced, but still. What I liked was the short running time. It was only 50 minutes long. That
in and out.
That is good. What I did not like was everything else.
The music was very annoying.
The music was very annoying.
But it's good for kids. Hey, if you're gonna put something on, kids will like this. But again, will you like this? Or nowadays with better graphics, better music, Toy Story, Pets, animation movies. This is the thing.
I felt that this movie was made with a lot of love.
It must be. It must be.
There were many characters, there were many roles, and you can see how crammed every single frame and every single image is with different characters.
Too much going on, actually. Too much going on at one time. There was no focus. This was the thing. It was like 5-10 toys basically just going mental.
That was actually my main concern. The movie felt like it had some sort of ADHD because with the short running time it went from, oh, we're all so happy, to, oh, we're gonna sing, to, oh my god, this is actually so sad, in about 30 seconds, going through all the emotions in that short time.
But then a child is going to watch this because a child goes through so many things quickly as well. Short attention span. It's a bit chaotic to watch, but I think it's a good movie for a child.
Yes.
There's some music in there, keeps them entertained, so put it on.
And something that I generally don't like is when kids' entertainment is condescending. Like, okay, we're gonna make a movie for these little idiots who still crap their diapers. But this movie isn't such a thing. It does tell an interesting story with interesting characters. And while it may be very, very hard to find this movie as a, physical copy, there are scenes of the movie actually on the official Jim Henson YouTube channel, so you can watch at least bits and pieces of this film there. But it's definitely worth your time. Jim Henson is a master of the animated movie department, and I'm calling his Muppets and things animated.
Yeah, well, they are now
movies.
Animated.
They have good characters, and it was fun.
It's a likable movie. And on that note, thank you very much for watching.
That's it.
Take care. Put it on for your kids.
Can I start singing again now?
No, absolutely not.
Okay. We got to end this video now. Please subscribe now and hit that bell to notify.
Ding.
We are going to say goodbye.
Take care.
Hello and welcome to the Pork and Knuckles Show, where we take a bite out of the movies, literally. And by the way, guys, have you ever wondered what we are doing when the camera is not really on? No? Okay, moving on. Have you ever thought what your pets are doing when you're not home? And definitely everyone has done that. I even have a friend who has a camera at home to be able to remotely watch what his dog is doing. And I would be surprised if it was anything like these movies, which, by the way, I liked.
I liked the first one. I did not like the second one. It was overkill. However, the last 20 minutes of the first movie were better than the entire movie.
Yes.
I liked the quote when they were driving. What was the exact? Keep your eyes on the road. You drive like an animal. I was just like, this is cool. It was funny. I liked the introduction where the dog was itching his back using the bacon mix. That was quite cool. I like the little rabbit, the bunny rabbit, the cute rabbit who turns out to be an evil villain and then switches sides. It's cool. Cool movie, adventurous.
Actually, for me as the cat person, I loved this fat cat.
Oh yeah, she was brilliant.
This is so much cat-like, you know, just lying there and then
just causing havoc. Yeah, it was brilliant.
Clean up after me. No, and actually I loved this story, and seriously, the most uncreative critics in the entire world said, "This is a Toy Story ripoff."
That was not English.
Actually was mumblish, but the problem is they said this is a Toy Story ripoff, and calling Pets a Toy Story ripoff for me is kind of like calling Predator a ripoff of Citizen Kane, because both movies feature people that breathe.
And dogs that speak.
No, seriously, this is about pets. Okay, what do they do when the owners aren't there? The story is entirely different from Toy Story. There is not even a nudge or a reference or anything to say that links these movies.
The point is that it's adventure for things we assume don't talk. And we're just like, okay, toys don't talk? I wonder what toys are thinking. They don't have a brain. Maybe they don't think. But pets have a brain. They think. They clearly get up to no good. They start driving around. I am surprised that there's no logic to this, where if a car was being driven at such high speed by animals, you'd stop the car. You'd have the SWAT team coming in. You're like, what is going on here? But yeah, it was cool. I think Pets 1 was cool.
What I think about the films and about Illumination films in general, they're more like the entertainment sort of animated movies, while the Disney, especially Pixar films, sometimes go even up to the art house style. Yeah. This little pretentious flair that, I mean, came when Toy Story 3 made basically a concentration camp escapist film for kids, and 4 was just utter garbage. And these are just light-hearted, fast-paced fun with great characters, with great voice actors, and I have to say, as disgusting as he is in real life, I like the voice of Louis C.K. as the main character in the first film. However, he was then replaced by Patton Oswalt in the second one.
But then the second one, you see, the second one, I think they just wanted to produce another one because of the success of the first one.
Of course.
And they just started adding random stories, random short stories to prolong the film. And it's just like, why do you need this? This got nothing to do with the concept of pets, but there were just random stories coming in.
But you know what the thing is, this is just like Disney and Pixar sometimes have short films before their main films in the theater. This basically has these short films as a film into the film. Yeah. But the thing is, of course, it prolongs the film. It sometimes screws a little bit with the pacing of the film, but still, even these inserted short stories were cool and fun to watch. I was surprised how much I liked these films. I mean, I loved the Despicable Me movies. Yeah. I detested the Minions movie because that was terrible. The Minions are great, but the Minions movie was garbage. But these two, I surprisingly liked them. Even the second one, even though, of course, the first one was way better.
Masterclass, really.
But
well, that's it. That's
that's everything we have time for today, actually.
Thank you for watching. You've lasted this long. Congratulations.
So please, drop us your opinion of the Pets movies into the comment section below. If you like this video, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit that bell to make sure you're notified whenever we put up more crap like this. And if you want to join us again, we would be happy to talk to you some more about this and other franchises. So see you guys again on the next Pork and Knuckles show.
Take care.
Hello and welcome to the Pork and Knuckles show, where we take a bite out of the movies. Literally. And today, we're gonna sink our digitally animated teeth right into Toy Story.
Toy Story.
One franchise that
it's amazing.
Exists.
It is amazing. It's superb. Toy Story 1 was amazing. I grew up with this. Well, I was at an age where I was too old for toys, but still liked the concept of toys. So it's just like, cool. But I don't know how old you are. You always had your age. He's very, very close to retirement.
94.
Lots of Photoshop is done on his face.
I actually watched the first Toy Story in the cinemas, I think.
Yeah. Toy Story was so good. 1 was excellent. I enjoyed 3 even more. I mean, we were all emotionally attached when Andy leaves the toys and goes to college. That was a tragedy. Macbeth from Shakespeare has nothing on this. This was a proper tragedy. It was like end of an era.
Okay, you know what?
And then they brought out 4. Why? I don't know.
Before we start about the good things of Toy Story, I need to address the worst thing of the entire Toy Story franchise. Something that I hated as a child and still hate to this day.
Toy Story 4.
And that, is the god-awful music by Randy Newman. I hate You Got a Friend in Me. This is the worst...
What's wrong with you?
This is the worst song that was ever nominated for an Oscar before Let It Freaking Go appeared.
Highlighted by him only representing himself and no one else.
Randy Newman is so terrible that I stopped watching Monk after the second season.
Did you stop watching Toy Story?
No, but I think I fast-forwarded. No, seriously.
You fast-forwarded Toy Story.
Through the song. No,
we need to
it's a terrible song, but I grew up because I grew up with Tim Allen. Tim Allen actually starred in my all-time favorite sitcom, Home Improvement. I love this thing.
Classic.
Then came The Nanny, then came King of Queens. Right now I'm even more attached to Third Rock from the Sun, which is brilliant.
But then you have Tom Hanks, and then Tom Hanks is your Hollywood father. Yes. I don't think he is the person you would want your father to be if you could choose. He's just like, he is perfect. His voice is perfect. Tom Hanks should just make an audio recording, which he probably has already, just to put babies to sleep. He can do it. His voice
He can do everything.
Soothing. It is amazing. And it's just like, and the talent, of course, name speaks for himself, but his voice is so good. It was a perfect fit.
Perfect.
Buzz and Woody were absolutely perfect.
And actually, he decided to record his lines in between Sleepless in Seattle and A Class of One's Own, I think it's called. And not in between Philadelphia and Forrest Gump, which were all made kind of at the same time, because he didn't want to do any comedic acting during the more serious roles, which I understand that wouldn't fit. And I think even an actor as versatile as Tom Hanks must have some conflict in his brain doing something funny and something dead freaking
well, he's smart enough to realize
at the same time.
And manages time accordingly, but
speaking,
reflects in the movies.
Speaking of awesome voices, there was one voice that I loved in Toy Story 2, and that was the nerd Al, the comic guy. And I thought, I know this voice. This is such a great voice. And I looked it up on IMDb, and it belongs to Wayne Knight, who originally is part of the Third Rock from the Sun cast, my favorite sitcom.
But then the coolest...
And who was also in Jurassic Park. We saw this guy.
We did.
He was the guy who basically...
What reminds you of Toy Story?
Everything.
The scene of Mr. Potato Head being knocked off and all of his parts coming up. This is as close to Mr. Potato Head as we can get. But all of his parts coming off and then everyone plugging things together and it goes the wrong way. It's just like such a cool scene. I am not a potato.
Are you related?
Such a cool scene. It was like, amazing.
This is the smarter one.
Amazing. And you thought that is when things really escalated and you got emotionally attached to the whole franchise. 1, 2, 3 masterpieces. 4, they knew it was going to be a success. They just wanted to make more money, so why not do a 4? But
with
seriously,
face.
It was 4 was an abomination.
There is one thing in this world that I hate even more than Randy Newman's music, and that's Disney. I despise Disney, but we'll get into this later. But for this video, I just want to say Disney lobbied hardcore to get Toy Story 1 made as a musical. And this is one of the #1 facts why I think Disney sucks. This does not work as a musical. This works as a narrative-driven movie, and the songs are the worst part in this movie. So imagine...
They're not.
Imagine this going on for 90 goddamn minutes.
The movie was amazing.
Terrible.
It was, and the whole concept of when they patch up the toys, that's quite cool. Sewing up his hands, cleaning him. It was just such a cool concept. Brilliant movies, superb. 5.5 star rating out of 5. Yeah, I think.
Yeah, one more fact of how much I despise Disney. I mean, we know that John Lasseter, the original creator of Toy Story, is a despicable human being, and we do not want to talk about this guy. But Disney actually censored Toy Story 2 in the latest 4K Blu-ray releases of the second movie, and I think also the stream at Disney Plus, which I can't tell because I don't and will never have Disney Plus. There was the blooper at the end, you know, with Stinky Pete and the 2 Barbie dolls in his box, and he's trying to give them advice on how to succeed, and this was deleted from the film.
Right, on that note, we're gonna end it. Thank you, you've survived. You have survived this. Let us know what you think. Does Toy Story 4 belong with this? We will see. Comment, let us know. Subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to continue watching us doing this.
But make sure to hit that bell so you are definitely notified, and we will see you guys again on the next Pork and Knuckles show. And right now, please drop your opinion of the Toy Story movies into the comment section below. Tell Bill that he's an idiot and that I am always right. Even if it's not true, just do it, because it would be fun to troll him. No, thanks ever so much for watching, and we'll see you guys again on the next episode. See ya.
Take care.
Hello and welcome to the Pork and Knuckles Show, where we take a bite out of the movies, literally. And today, we're gonna set 2 franchises to fight to the death. We have the guy who most likely plays with toys against the guys who literally are toys, talked about by people who look like a toy when compared to you.
Great. So, Home Alone and Toy Story. Right. So we're going to compare characters, we're going to compare the storyline, the special effects, the sequels, and only for this time round, we're going to compare whether they are relevant anymore. This will be an interesting one.
This is hard.
Right, characters.
Let's ease into it. Let's ease into
it by characters. So, go for it.
I should start. Okay, so Kevin is an annoying brat. I rooted for the villains in all of the Home Alone films. I was like, come on, Daniel Stern and Joe Pesci, kill him! But they sadly never did, spoiler alert. No, seriously, characters have to go to the Toy Story franchise, because you have such amazing actors. You have the incredibly talented Tom Hanks in the leading role as Woody. You have Tim Allen as the voice of Buzz Lightyear, an actor that I deeply respect because it was my first and still favorite sitcom with Home Improvement. And what they did was they made polygons talk, but not only talk, they made them work. They made them believable as characters, as people, as animated feelings. And this is insane.
Cool, so your point goes to
My
Toy
point
Story.
goes to Toy Story.
Well, I think, you know, Home Alone 1 and 2, Kevin was a much better character, but Home Alone had other sequels, and the villains were not the same. The villains did not have the same strength. They got weaker and weaker. I mean, Woody and Buzz were superb, absolutely superb, and that pairing is a match made in heaven. I really think so. And my point also goes to Toy Story. Yeah. Right, storyline.
Storyline, that's basically even tougher, because I think the hardest part when you're making a film is taking a simple storyline and both make and keep it interesting. And so with Home Alone, it's the fact that, okay, there is this kid and he is at home and some people want to get into his home. Basically just like the French film Inside, but...
Well, no, not in the second
different.
one. Not in the second one. He's alone in New York.
Where he's then alone.
They're just getting him personally.
In an entire town, which is basically the same concept that you have in Alien, with someone who is basically able to freely move, but still imprisoned somewhere where he can't get out of, where he can't freely do things because, well...
People are chasing him.
People are chasing him. It's not the Xenomorph, it's Joe Pesci, so... But
that was not funny.
When you go to Toy Story, I think the first one has an interesting storyline with the toy that is afraid of being replaced. I love, and personally I think the best Toy Story is the second one, because for me, as a collector, and I have to explain to you that I love my DVDs so much that I can't even throw away the ones that are broken and no longer work. Because for me, even as a child, I had this feeling that the inanimate objects we play with, the films, the puppets, the toys, they have a personality. I always treated my things with respect. So the thought of them coming to life was something inherent in me since I was a child. So Toy Story for me is a match made in heaven, and that guy, played by the brilliant Wayne Knight in Toy Story 2, is actually me. I love that, and I love this concentration camp for toys that they set up in the third movie. This was a bit over the top, but it was a great storyline. Let's please forget that the fourth one ever happened, because
that was a disgrace.
That was one of the most boring and unentertaining watches I ever had. I guess your
point goes to Toy Story.
My point goes to Toy Story, yes it does.
My point would go to Home Alone if it was just 1 and 2. Sadly, it's not 1 and 2. So, again, similar concept. Toy Story, they really had to get creative with toys just talking to each other. You could just blank it out like that, but I think 1 was superb, Toy Story 1. 3 was amazing. You were emotionally attached to the third one. Second one was okay, they dragged it. But the second Home Alone was a masterpiece because you knew what you were expecting and they still delivered it with an amazing storyline. I mean, if it's Home Alone 1 and 2, then definitely Home Alone, but it's not in this case. So again, Toy Story gets the vote. And next one, special effects. Special effects, we're gonna have a look. The stunts versus the effects in this case, because this is pretty much a whole animated movie.
In this case, because this is a special effect.
So stunts with the special effects.
But the thing is, when you talk Home Alone, I think what stands out, what really makes the Home Alone franchise stand out, is the acting, especially by Daniel Stern and Joe Pesci. I like the acting of Macaulay Culkin.
Cool.
That was it, really what cool. there is to like about the films. But I think when it really comes to the technicalities and to the special effects, even considering all the props, all the traps that Kevin sets out, basically, you could go as far as to say that as much as there is this rumor that Malcolm in the Middle is actually only the backstory of Breaking Bad, you could say that Home Alone is just a backstory for Saw, with then Kevin McAllister becoming John Kramer and devising these amazing traps. If Saw was
which one has the better effects, man?
Toy Story, for hell's sake!
I disagree. I think my vote goes straight with Home Alone. Really? The stunts were brilliant. And
they were.
To craft that kind of skill is shown, because animation was used throughout the whole project. But here, they really had to make sure that the stunts felt real.
The
to
timing.
the audience. Superb.
The timing was superb.
On a different level.
Yeah.
My point goes to Home Alone, and your point clearly goes to Toy Story.
Deserved. It's a deserved point. If we were actually to talk about timing and only the comedic timing, maybe I would have given it to Home Alone. But if we're just talking about the effects, this is a masterpiece. This made an entire genre possible.
Sequels.
This is like the Citizen Kane of
sequels. Right. We have Home Alone 3, 4, and 5, sadly, to include in this. But Home Alone 2, I still think is better than Home Alone 1.
Such as the case with Toy Story 2?
Toy Story 2 is not better than Toy Story 1.
I think so.
And for that reason, my vote will go to Home Alone, because the expectancy set by Home Alone 1 was so high, and they delivered it in Home Alone 2. But the expectancy set from Toy Story was massive. They did not deliver it in 2. They delivered it in 3.
Wait a second, I have to go back to the camera and figure out, did you just actually say you're giving that point to Home Alone?
I am giving that point to Home Alone.
Oh, because I was just rewinding, because I tried to rewind this because I thought I had a strange sound in my...
So why are you going to give your point to Toy Story?
Is there really a reason that you would need to give for that? Okay, Toy Story has 1 crap sequel. That's okay. Home Alone has 3 crap sequels.
2 is better than 1.
And by crap, I mean bottom of the barrel garbage. I mean a film where both Malcolm McDowell and French Stewart, 2 actors I really appreciate, have to be ashamed that they were a part of. This is 2 decent films and 3 crap films. This is 3 great films and 1 crap film. So when it comes to the quality of the sequels, there is no discussion for me. This is Toy Story.
Fine, so we're at 2-2. Well, you're all out.
But I am 4-0.
So
you're
the relevancy,
2-2?
I'm 2-2. The relevancy.
Okay.
The relevancy. I think Toy Story is much more relevant now. Not because it was released later, but the fact that Toy Story has kickstarted so many adults to watch animation movies. Whereas the concept of watching a child actor anymore is gone out the window. And it's just not there. It's not as entertaining. And would I choose Toy Story or Home Alone right now? I think I would watch Toy Story. For the simple fact that there's Despicable Me, there's The Invincibles, Pets, there's so many cool animation movies you can watch. This concept of a child being the main character has died down, sadly. It's Richie Rich had it, but that was it.
And Richie Rich was Kevin McAllister. But you could go to King Ralph and take John Goodman for that matter. But actually, I like your argument, but I would view it completely different. Because you say there are so many different animation films. And this is a problem in that context for Toy Story, because of course Toy Story is dated.
It's the leader.
Holy Christ. If I look at Toy Story 1 when I watched this, I thought I plugged in my PlayStation 2. But the thing is, it's an old movie. And we should respect it for what it is. It made the grounds for everything. A few months ago, I was watching...
Home Alone did not. That's the thing.
A few months ago, I was watching Coco, which, in my opinion, is the crowning achievement in animated movie making. This is the best thing that Disney and Pixar have ever released. This is a masterpiece. But you cannot forget the roots. This to some degree, comes from this. So when it comes to the relevancy, this is still gold. Home Alone comes more from the typical pratfall, slapstick comedy kind of film. And I have to say, while I liked the Home Alone films, I think there are so many more comedies that are much better and much more refined. If you look at the filmographies of Jim Carrey, or, who am I forgetting? Leslie Nielsen. 2 of my favorite comedic actors. If I were to watch Home Alone again, or Dumb and Dumber, or Ace Ventura, or The Naked Gun, it would go to all 3 of these before I touch this one again. Because it is it did inspire a lot, but it feels a lot more dated, especially in the 21st century when you think, okay, this situation is never going to happen now because that kid is left alone, that kid picks up his phone, calls someone, the deed is done. You don't need
if you
90
look at it in
minutes
that
of
literally,
the
toys
film.
don't talk. So toys are not living
God,
creatures.
okay, so all
Fine,
points go
to Home Alone. But
to My Neighbor
fine.
Totoro.
We have a winner. We have a clear winner.
Yeah, it's a clear
I think
winner.
it's Toy Story. Toy
Yes.
Story has done phenomenally well, and it laid the ground for other superb movies in the genre. Whereas Home Alone was probably the end point. I think it was the peak of these kind of movies. And that's it. Thank you very much for watching, guys.
That's everything we have time for today. If you liked this video for whatever reason, then please tell us so. Drop your opinion about Home Alone and Toy Story in the comment section below. If you want to hear us talk about even more videos, then please click that subscribe button, hit that bell to make sure you're notified whenever we put up more crap like this. And we will see you guys again on the next Pork and Knuckles show.
Take care.